You're watching France 24's Access Asia. Here's what's coming up in today's show. China holds local elections, but independents struggle to get on the ballot. And a tourist boom threatens the pristine beauty of Vietnam's northern mountains. Plus, North Korea looks to football to make its mark on the international stage. But first, every 5 years, China holds direct local elections. Thousands of seats for party-run congresses are up for grabs. The Constitution allows independent candidates to run, but if you're not a member of the Communist Party, getting on the ballot is nearly impossible and even potentially dangerous.
These Beijing residents are going to the polls in China's only direct elections. They're choosing representatives to their local council.
We can now choose the delegates that we find suitable. Candidates represent different positions. We can let them know what we need, and they can take that to the assembly.
Far from the highest levels of Chinese politics, these representatives advise on local issues like parking and care for the elderly. And although anyone backed by at least 10 people can in theory be a candidate, officials ultimately decide who gets on the ballot, and some are being blocked from running.
The government can't let someone like me be a candidate. I would express my own thoughts. When the People's Congress opens session, I would cast an opposition ballot.
Mrs. Ye was banned from meeting foreign media and placed under strict police surveillance during the election. She says 20 other so-called independents were also barred from running.
The independent candidates are mostly from the so-called new social stratum, not Communist Party members. So after they're elected, they will inevitably dilute the proportion of members who are from the Communist Party. And this could lead to the Communist Party being unable to appoint or dismiss people in significant positions.
According to some, though, this system merely represents a form of democracy with Chinese characteristics. The winners from these polls choose representatives at the next level of government, and so on, all the way to the Chinese parliament, which appoints the president.
We are under the leadership of the Chinese Communist Party. The people shed blood for this country, so people have to take part. In Western elections, anyone can participate if they have money. China is not like that. It cannot be implemented in China.
Chinese state media has savaged the circus atmosphere of this year's US presidential election, and the Communist Party has dismissed multi-party democracy as an existential threat.
Nestled in a UNESCO-protected area of cascading rice terraces, Sapa is one of Vietnam's top tourist draws. But locals are now complaining that rapid development and tourism are ruining the natural beauty the region has to offer.
Known as the Tonkinese Alps, the mountains around Sapa in northern Vietnam have beguiled visitors for generations. Their misty valleys and rice terraces offer respite from sweltering temperatures further south. And since a highway to Hanoi opened in 2014, tourist numbers have rocketed to 750,000 per year and look set to keep on rising.
We hope that in time Sapa will become really beautiful and attractive in the eyes of tourists, with a strict commitment to the cultural and environmental character of the villages here.
But some fear that cultural and environmental heritage is being put at risk. Views of Vietnam's highest mountain were changed forever earlier this year, with the opening of the world's longest cable car. For $30, visitors can take the vertigo-inducing ride to the summit of Mount Fansipan. Hikers who have done it the hard way now share the view with hundreds of others, with mixed feelings.
It's nice, it's convenient for us, but we're tourists, so, there's always the flip side. If I lived here and I grew up here, I probably wouldn't like it.
For me, it's a bit disappointing. But it's for other people. I think that is better because it's safer.
In Sapa itself, a once sleepy mountain resort is now thronged with tourists. Many women from local ethnic minority groups who sell souvenirs and work as tour guides have seen their incomes rise. But some worry that young people are losing their cultural identity.
They not really enjoy the, like the handicrafts and not really like listening to the traditional culture. That I think they're doing in the future, they will change a lot.
But some in the industry are trying to take a responsible approach. This lodge aims to promote sustainable development and hires 90% of its staff from local villages.
Now the investment going on in Sapa, for some of them, is a short-term vision, which will bring massive tourism. And we know that for a natural destination like here, in a preserved environment, this is not real good.
Last year, Sapa's tourism industry was worth $50 million, a figure that's likely to rise. Striking the right balance between economic growth and conservation will not be easy.
On the international stage, North Korea is considered a pariah state. It's been sanctioned and cut off because of its nuclear ambitions. But Pyongyang is increasingly using sports as a way to break the isolation.
Football in North Korea. Supreme Leader Kim Jong-un has made it a priority and wants success on the global stage. A message that's heard loud and clear at this academy in the capital, Pyongyang.
So our goal is to train our students to become a great national team member and to make them super talented players who can surpass Lionel Messi.
Ri has close links to North Korea's greatest footballing moment. His father played in goal at the 1966 World Cup, when the underdogs stunned Italy 1-0 en route to the quarter-finals. An achievement the current crop of rising stars is keen to emulate.
We came to the football academy in order to become successful at football, no matter what.
My ambition is to be good at football so that I can bring glory to my country.
But there is much work to do. North Korea currently languishes outside the world's top 100 teams and has already been eliminated from qualifying for the next World Cup in Russia in 2018. In a bid to improve its fortunes, it's hired former Norway international Jørn Andersen as coach.
They're trying to get more experience from outside, now with me as national coach, my contacts in the whole world, in Europe especially, and try to get many impulse from outside. And that is very important, that after academy, the best player can take the next step to Italy to train there.
As North Korea's men struggle, they could seek inspiration from the country's female players. The seniors have won the Asian Cup 3 times since 2000, while the under-17s are reigning world champions, meaning North Korea's future Lionel Messi may be more likely to be a woman.
Best known for its fleece, the Merino is one of the world's most ancient breeds of sheep. With origins in Spain, the animal was imported to Australia. Thanks to selective breeding, farmers there produce some of the world's finest wool.
Australia, the world's top producer of merino wool. Here in the rolling hills of the south, merino sheep roam free.
Come here, Zip.
Farmer Philip Swain raises more than 4,000 sheep on his land.
In this area here, you don't get much dust in your wool. You don't get the burr matter. Whereas western wools, you get burrs and dust and that sort of stuff.
As winter comes to an end, he must gather the flock for the shearing. The sheep are herded into a barn, which buzzes with the sound of clippers. 4 shearers huddle over pinned sheep, their movements sure and precise. In Australia, shearers are considered true artists, highly sought-after specialists that are paid €2 per fleece. They spend 2 to 3 minutes on average shearing 1 sheep, but some are even faster than that. The best can shave up to 300 sheep in 1 day.
Yeah, to get the fleece in all one piece, you must keep the comb on the skin. No second cuts, what are called locks. Very important for the wool grower to have it all in one piece so they can get maximum price.
Next, the fleece, weighing in between 6 and 11 kilos each, must be examined. In just a few short seconds, the expert sorter must determine the quality of the fiber. He checks for length, color, and thickness of the wool. Then he sorts it into one of three categories, from low quality to high.
It's nice and white. It's very soft and pretty fine. So that's the top. You get the top price for the wool for that one.
This year, 300 tons of wool will be produced here, to be sent to Europe or China to be spun. The Merino sheep will head back into the fields until their next haircut, the same time next year.
Well, we'll leave you now with images from Tokyo, and a group of artists dressed up as samurai head to the city's Shibuya crossroads. Now, the warriors turned heads as they picked up litter, and this was all in a bid to highlight environmental issues. Thanks for joining us. I'll see you again next time on Access Asia. The news continues here on France 24.